Hello, today I'm going to do a video on COVID as the holidays are taking place, Thanksgiving. Um, People are needing to adjust their plans, and that is up to and including us. We wanted to drive to see our grandchildren, and due to COVID, we are choosing not to go, and also due to uh, things changing as our awareness changes. So does our restrictions. The states individually are starting to kind of tighten down and wanting people, if you travel out of state, to take a 2 week quarantine. So my question is, and I think largely it's believed that if you happen to go out and have your Thanksgiving dinner, that a good percentage of people who are in positions of authority think that you're going to be coming home sick. And so, well, for us, I personally am not. Um, I don't believe that my knowledge is so great that I can just wing it. So I'm going to choose not to go, although I want to go, and I feel rather, I guess, probably sad, for a lack of a better way to say it, that it's not going to happen this time. But no matter what, this is temporary. And so, with that, I'm simply just going to ask the cards to tell us about COVID, the energy around COVID. And so I'm going to spread the cards around, and I am going to select 14 cards. And I do kind of a Celtic cross, and I sort of have modified it to my own taste. And so I'm going to go ahead and start selecting. And I just want to know the energy at this time as we go forward around COVID. We've heard so many things, that this is the second wave, the third wave. It's, the doctors don't know what they're doing. The doctors do know what they're doing. There's a vaccine, there's not a vaccine, or there's a vaccine and who knows? Our information, for the lack of better ways to say it, has driven me to divine. So I don't feel I can trust that I can turn on the news and hear what is really true. So I'm not even at this time bothering to do it anymore. I find the news so distressing that I just won't do it. All right, I think I have my 14 cards, and I'm going to use the Wild Unknown deck. Count them out, make sure. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, that's right. All right, and the foundation of the reading is an 8 of broken cups. The relationships that we are in right now with each other are in a shambles, and largely that is due to the fact that some people feel strongly one way politically, and some feel strongly another politically. But what does that have to do with the virus? Okay, well, let's just take these. That's the foundation, and let's just see what the cards have to tell us about this. Okay, so right now, what we're getting is that we're in this energy of the hermit, where we are in retreat, all of us. I know that for myself, I want to go visit the family. I want to spend time with my grandchildren, but the consequences of us going could be serious. So we thought about the fact that we have to stop and purchase gas along the way to make the trip and come in contact with people along the way. We determined that the only way that we could remain safe, and our family members also remain safe, was to go into retreat. And here we have collectively the hermit, okay? And it is being crossed by the Father of Cups. And that is a type of energy that one would consider loving, but duly note that this is a black swan. And right now we have a circumstance where we're not allowed to have leadership from the new leadership. And I think that this represents Biden. And of course, I don't really like seeing it crossing the hermit right off the bat in relation to COVID. But we shall continue because I'm reading the cards. The cards come out the way they come out, and I read them the way they come out. So then we get a a 5 of swords, and 5 being a number kind of the divine, and swords being intellectual, that this chaos and confusion in this virus, in many ways, has a purpose. It has a divine purpose, and it has an intellectual purpose. Okay, so we'll keep going. And it has led to us having broken hearts, and this is in the very recent past, and the numbers just continue to go up. It's just kind of amazing that, it really came to our awareness last March, and we're talking 9 months later almost, and it's still very much happening that we cannot come and go as we please. Our lives, for the most part, are on hold, and so that's the heartbreak. Okay, and we do feel cut in half. We get this 5 of swords, and in this 5 of swords, we got a lot of swords energy. My goodness, we got this where we're very divided, and this division process that we are in is keeping us from coming together and bringing a solution. So when you consider that your political position is actually keeping you unhealthy because we're not able to come together, we're sort of in this because we're doing it to ourselves, and that's troubling as well. All right, in our very near future, we get the 4 of Wands. It's kind of like, if you want to be out there and you want to participate in society, the structure of it is you're putting a bullseye on your back. It is very serious now. I do recognize that there are people that feel that this virus is not real. This card here is saying the structure is there. It's real and it's hot. At the heart of the question, which is about COVID, this is judgment. This is here to bring us to our knees, to bring our awareness to the skies, so that, whatever we are doing or we're doing, we somehow lost our way. And COVID is about rebalancing the energies on planet Earth. Get the Daughter of Cups. Something is coming forward that is more loving, and obviously you can see it's a black cup, and it relates to this Father of Cups. I think this is going to be now Kamala coming in, and this cup energy, this more loving energy, this more relationship oriented energy. And I do think we have to find our way towards how we deal with our relationships as quickly as we possibly can, because if we have any hope at all of getting things righted from the wrongs, we must look at how we're handling COVID. And in order to get to COVID, it's got to lose its political flavor. I got news for you, folks. COVID isn't Democratic and it isn't Republican. And if you're standing on either one of those lines, you're standing in the wrong place. So do not assume it is your political position that is going to keep you safe from this virus. And like I said, something much more loving is coming forward. And I believe this represents Kamala. But I bring this back out because notice that this is a black cup and we have this black swan. So again, that energy as we move forward, there's some darkness still very much going on, and up to and including the ability for any kind of work to be done around this virus. It's I find it remarkable that we're in so much trouble, and yet the people in DC, and I don't care if you're what your political line is, there are enough people in positions of responsibility that sign the bottom line that are not doing their jobs at this time, that it is remarkable and notable during a pandemic. We were more interested in judges on the bench than we were food in a child's mouth. Just let that sink in. We are out of balance, okay? And in our hopes and fears position, we get the Nine of Cups, which, there it is. This relationship, the way the relationships are being handled between us, the people, and the government at the highest levels, the elite. We have had a severing in some ways of the relationship. They have concluded that they don't need to communicate with us. And that, my friends, is completely incorrect, because whether they understand or not in Washington, D.C., it is those of us who go to work that pay their bills. So we truly are their employer. So they have lost contact with reality. Now, in the conclusion position, I get this Four of Cups. Yes, they're like dirty rats, all of them. I don't care. Again, this isn't for me about which side of the aisle you're on. It needs to be cleaned up. And it is in that there are rats in DC, regardless of their political affiliations. And right now, folks, we have a virus. We don't have time for their rat games. We need to get it cleaned up. And of course, this is a Four of Cups. The way our relationships are, the structure of our relationships, they've pit us against each other. So when you think about Thanksgiving and you think about being thankful, remember the people that you love and forget about the politics, because it will pass. And we go into this Eight of Swords energy, that this metamorphosis, this changing intellectually. So as this virus unfolds, there is a lot of it's about our relationships, it's about our intellect, it's about us being divided. There's a lot of cups energy, there's a lot of swords energy here. Okay, and then we get this Father of Swords. We're going to know something about our limitations. This holiday, Thanksgiving, is kind of reminding us, yes, you have limitations. This virus is here to point them out to you. And then we get this divine discontent, this Ten of Wands. And boy, are we ever divinely discontent right now. This is probably, well, no, this isn't probably, this is absolutely the most difficult thing I personally have ever experienced long term. Normally you have issues in your life, or you experience issues, and they come and they go. And this has been 4 years for me of a lot of difficulty, because, well, I never did feel comfortable with who got put in the White House. Now, again, I'm not going to get into my political leanings, because honestly, it doesn't matter. I have respected the office of the president for the last 4 years, regardless of my personal discomfort, and I've respected the people who chose that as their leadership. But I'm asking you, please, now to respect my choices and to respect the voters of the United States of America who've made their voices very clear. And let's put this divine discontent away so that we can get on with the business of surviving this virus. And to conclude, I get the Emperor. That yes, this has been you know, you notice this tree and it stands. Trees are very, to me, they're fascinating in that um, they stand tall in all kinds of circumstances. That they renew themselves. That if they have trouble, they have a way of letting you know through their ring system. Trees, in my opinion, are much more than we understand. Okay. And I think that this card represents kind of the foundation and all things therein that makes us human. And in some ways, we've lost connection with that. And due to that loss of connection, we now have COVID. And with that, please do hit the like, share, and subscribe button, and join me on www.twiggie.com, where I can provide you with natal chart readings or various types of readings in Vedic equal astrology, and also tarot cards and tarot astrology. So go ahead and take a look, go look around. I have myself and another reader available. And thank you very much for joining me here today.